cat people, how are you today? I'm Catlady Antigoni, and today we are ranking Halloween palettes. I am a big Halloween lover myself, and I would say that my Halloween palette collection is quite big. I really enjoy the Halloween colors, I really enjoy all the Halloween related themes, and I enjoy collecting Halloween themed palettes. These are my favorites. So I have collected all my Halloween related palettes here today, and we are gonna rank them together. Before I start with the ranking, I would like to let you know about this makeup that you see on my face today. Is the makeup where I was doing by using like the bingo system. So I have chosen 5 of my Halloween palettes. I have used a random number generator, and this is the result basically. If you're interested to see this video, I'm gonna make sure that I will leave it up here as well as add my description box. And I think after all this, and if you're ready, let's start with the ranking! Oh my god, I just realized that I had lipstick on my teeth. Why didn't you tell me? Why did you just allow me to continue with my video? I'm joking. Anyway, let's jump into number 13, like the last palette in the ranking, and I'm gonna show you this one. This is from Lovelace Cosmetics, a Swedish indie brand, and I'm gonna tell you about the Cold-Blooded Bride. Very, very beautiful palette, very beautiful color scheme, but unfortunately I had issues with the quality. I feel that the eyeshadows were not performing as usual as the other eyeshadow palettes that I have from this brand, and this is quite a shame because I love blue so much. I mean, you understand, right? And when I was seeing this palette and I was looking at the colors, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the best blue makeup looks. And then I dived in and it was such a disappointment. I don't mind the 2 glitters. I know that a lot of you do not like glitters in the palettes. I don't have issues as long as the other eyeshadows are decent. These were not, and this is making me a bit sad because I truly love the theming and the vampire and everything. Unfortunately, not a good palette. At number 12, we have another palette from the same brand. I mean, look at the artwork, it's just stunning. The reason that I'm buying from this brand is just like the covers and the art and everything. And this one is called Beetlejuice, or Makeup for the Recently Mortals, and it is inspired from Beetlejuice. When I reviewed this palette, I thought that it was quite decent. I mean, look at the coffin, it's so beautiful. The only reason that I'm still keeping these palettes are because they're very beautiful and the aesthetics are so up to my alley. Yeah, so I was telling you, when I was reviewing this palette, I told you that it's good. It's not that it's like trash, or of course I cannot compare the quality with this one, but if I compare it with the other palettes that I have collected to show you today, I don't think that it's this good in the end. I love the colors, the selection is amazing, but again, the quality is not there. Like, the more I'm using it, the more disappointed I'm becoming. But I still love it, and I think that one day this palette is gonna decorate my background because it's so beautiful. At number 11, I'm gonna show you an old friend of mine. Well, I'm gonna tell you about the collaboration between NYX Professional Makeup and the Sabrina palette. I loved this palette so much. It's so aesthetically pleasing. I mean, look here, it even has spells with eyeshadows. I'm dying, it's so beautiful. But of course, as you can understand, the formula is a bit older and I just don't find myself using it that much these days. I think that I own way better eyeshadows in my collection. But as you can see, when I bought it, I had quite a lot of fun with it. That's why it's not at the absolute bottom, and I think that when I want some very specific eyeshadows, this palette can be compared with some other palettes that I own, but not the most favorite ones. So all in all, this is another of the decorative palettes, as I like to call them. I have a lot of memories with this one, but I just don't use it nowadays. At number 10, we are having another collaboration, this time between Revolution Makeup and the Corpse Bride. Well, let me show you this beautiful palette. Look how stunning it is. I love this movie, I love the theme of the palette, and I love how unique it is. When it comes to the quality, yeah, I cannot open it for some reason. Anyway, when it comes to the quality, it's not my favorite, definitely, and that's why I do not reach for this palette quite often. I mean, I have reviewed this palette, so you can watch this video in a more in-depth opinion, I would say, but since then I have used it like once or twice, so I definitely can understand why I bought it, but it cannot be ranked higher. It's a beautiful color scheme in a beautiful palette, but unfortunately, when I know that I have better quality eyeshadows in my collection, I just don't want to use it that much. At number 9, we are having another collab, this time between Colourpop and Hocus Pocus. I think that this is the second palette that they have released with Hocus Pocus. I'm not sure, don't quote me on this. This one is called Witching Hour, and actually I have used it for today's bingo. I have used this golden right here. Again, I love the theming. I mean, I'm dying for this spooky, kinda Halloweeny, kinda scary look that all these palettes are having, but I don't know why. I haven't used it that much, and maybe, you know something, I might know why, because I loved this green, so I tried to use it 2 or 3 times, and it wasn't amazing. I mean, it was decent, but definitely I have other greens that are way easier to work with, and that's why I do not reach for this palette. Like, if this is not working on me, I'm not that interested about the rest of the colors, or maybe these two, which were kind of the same. So that's why I have it, I admire it, but I do not reach that often for it. And I know I have said this quite a lot of times today, but this is how I decided to rank all this kinda to the lower end of the spectrum today. At number 8, we are having another palette from the brand Lovelace Cosmetics, and this time I'm gonna tell you about their palette, which is called Live Forever. Weirdly enough, although that this palette is kinda older than the Blue Cold Bride or whatever it was called, this quality was way better than the other. I mean, I have been enjoying this palette quite a lot. I loved the quality here, unlike the other two that I showed you, so I don't really know what happened. Like, they have found a good formula and then they just said like, no, we don't care to carry this anymore. So it was really weird for me. The only reason that it's kinda low at my ranking is because that it doesn't contain any special eyeshadow, I mean any duochrome, any multichrome or anything like this, but for what it is an excellent palette. I love the color scheme. I have combined the green with the purple a million times. This is so inspiring to me. I love the theming as well, like the interview with the vampire, amazing. I just don't like in general in Lovelace Cosmetics that they're using stickers. I mean, this is a sticker, I can literally remove it. It gives me a very cheap feeling, and I don't think that their prices are that affordable to have this feeling, but I don't know. When it comes to the theme, I love it. If it wasn't a sticker, it would be like 10 out of 10 for me. The quality is good, so I'm kind of missing some special eyeshadows, a better layout, and this would be way up in my ranking. Did you miss the collabs? Because at number 7, I'm gonna tell you about the collaboration between Nightmare Before Christmas and Colourpop. My god, I love Tim Burton's movies so much. That's why I bought the other one from Revolution, although that I kinda have read reviews about the quality. I was like, I love it. like these movies, I was watching them when I was like a teenager and I was always crying. I'm still crying when I watch them. They are so romantic, but in a very beautiful and spooky way. Anyway, let's talk about the palette here. I love the layout with the snowflakes, with the glitters, with everything. When it comes to the color scheme, I cannot say that it's the most representative color scheme about the movie, but I still love the combination of pink and orange and purple and the bats inside and the gifts here. I think this is very, very well designed. Again, here we do not have that many special eyeshadows, although that I could say that in this pink I see some kind of like purple-ish sparkles. That's why it has been ranked like a bit higher from the other one. I cannot say that I'm reaching for it that often, but when I do, I always enjoy the result. I love this black with the purplish shimmers, although that I cannot see the shimmers on my eye. I mean, I'm wearing this right here. Do you see any of this? No, but it's still very, very beautiful in the pan. I love this palette for all year round, to be honest, because it's not that Halloween-ish, and that's why it's a bit higher. Now, from now on, all the palettes that I'm gonna show you are having special eyeshadows, and this is pretty much why I have this kinda low, although that it's not that low, to be honest. At number 6, we are having another collab. I mean, I know I do not impress anyone at this point, but it is what it is. Well, this is the collaboration between Glamlight and Scooby-Doo. Let me tell you, I grew up with the Scooby-Doo show and I really love all the characters and Scooby especially. Now let me show you the color scheme. This one is the Creeps and Crawls. There was another palette, but to be honest, I liked this one way more because it is very like purple heavy. I love purple as a color and I love the combination between purple and teal and these blues. I cannot say that this has the amazing, extraordinary formula that Glamlight usually has, but I truly love all the shimmers because they are very, very dimensional and impressive. The mattes, on the other hand, they're a bit so-so, but all in all, I love the very spooky vibe that I'm getting from this palette. I mean, it's not like this one, which has some pinks inside. This is like straight up Halloween, straight up spooky, and this is very inspiring to me when I would like to do some more dark looks. Of course, when I say that the quality of the mattes are not as good as the other Glamlight formulas that I'm used to, I don't say by any means that this is unusable or this is like as the Lovelace that I was telling you before, but I just know that Glamlight can do better and I was really wishing to see it in this palette. By this said, I still love it. At number 5, we have the collaboration palette between Batty Bean and Shroud Cosmetics. The name is It's Freaking Bats, and although that she has done a more Halloween specific palette, which unfortunately I do not own yet, I find this very Halloween themed and very spooky, and I love the bats. In general, I love so much when brands are doing like prints inside the palette, the carton I mean. It's so beautiful. Now, when it comes to the quality, the shimmers are fantastic. I'm in love with them. I love especially this one, which is called Zero, from Zero the Doggo from Nightmare Before Christmas. Just love the reference. I didn't really enjoy the mattes because they are having a lot of kickback. I mean, they are fine on the eye, they're very, very workable and they are pigmented, so I definitely can use them, I can work with them, but they're making such a mess. Of course, this is not a factor that is making me not using the palette, and I'm using it even for non-Halloweenish looks, which is something that I really appreciate when I have such a spooky palette and I can use it in my everyday life, not only for kind of like more dark looks. This is something truly amazing, and that's why it's ranked very, very high in today's ranking. Of course, I'm planning in the future to try more from Shroud Cosmetics. At this point, this is the only palette that I have have, but I would definitely like to buy the other collab with Buddy Bean, and I would like to try the Peaches and Skies, Peaches and Dreams, something like that. I'm dying to try this. If you have tried any of these, please let me know down at the comments, or please let me know what you would like me to try. We are at the top 4. From now on, the palettes are crème de la crème. They're amazing, all of them, and I cannot really separate them. It was so hard for me to rank them. Anyway, number 4, here we're having the Haunted Pumpkin from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. Let me show you this Halloween dream for a palette. Let me show it to you. Look at the palette first of all. Look how beautifully they have done the layout and the color scheme. Oh my god, can you imagine something more Halloweenish than this palette? This screams spooky season to me. I love the combination between green, orange and teal. Like, this is so inspiring to me. I have done too many looks because I saw this color scheme and something clicked inside me, and I got so much inspo from this palette. The quality is amazing. I really enjoy working with the shimmers. They are so beautiful. From this brand I own another palette. I'm not ready to say it yet because you're gonna see it in this ranking. All in all, I'm super happy with everything that has to do with the brand. If I could say something, is that I would prefer to see slightly smaller pans and a bit better price, because I know that a lot of you, if you like a color, you want to dive in again and again, but me having this collection that I have, I think that these pants are way too big, but this is not a complaint or anything, this is just my opinion. At number 3, we're having another Glam Light palette, this time their collaboration with Chucky and Tiff. I love this palette, I love this collaboration. The palette is called Crazy in Love, and as you can see, it has the perfect grey color scheme, which is kind of difficult to find in palettes. I mean, I love a good matte grey, and it was so hard for me to own a palette with just one matte grey, and here we're having this grey heaven. I love this palette. I think that the quality is amazing. I love how many greys and blacks and burgundies you can have in one palette. To me, this is the ultimate Halloween spooky, kinda like Halloween palette with a twist, I would say. Like, you don't see the traditional Halloween colors, which are the green, the orange and the purple, but here you feel the fear, if that makes any sense to you. I'm so happy that I get to own this palette. I'm so grateful that this baby exists in my collection, and I'm so happy every time that I'm getting to play with it, especially when I'm working with this black with the red specks. It's beautiful, although that you need to just build it up in the tap motion and you cannot just blend it, or otherwise you're gonna lose the shimmers. Basically, it is working with exactly the same way that I was telling you about the Colourpop A Nightmare Before Christmas, the black with the purple specks, exactly the same, but I still love them. Remember when I told you that I have one more palette from Give Me Glow? Well, this is it. At number 2, we're having The Bad Witch. I think that everything about this palette is extraordinary. From the cover, from the name, from the color scheme to the names of the eyeshadows, they have done an excellent job here. I mean, here out these names, Lex Hex Aurexis, amazing, personal favorite. Why the resting witch face? Let me spell it out for you. It's amazing. I don't find words to express how happy I am when I'm getting to read all these names. Just so perfect. When it comes to the color scheme, we're having kind of like the traditional Halloween greens, some purples, and we're having this very interesting color. And let me tell you something, I usually do not like the more kind kind of like orangey, warm toned colors, but with this palette, by looking at it and by reading the amazing name of it, I kind of got back into trying to use combinations of these colors with greens, and this is actually working perfectly on me. I really love it as a color combo. So if I could tell you something, it's like try to use this with any of these green shades, and of course if you don't have this palette, you don't have to have it. You can use any green eyeshadow and any kind of like salmonish orange eyeshadow together with them, and this is gonna be absolutely gorgeous. If you do it, don't forget to send me a picture on Instagram. I will be very happy to see that I inspired you to try something new today. And now it's time for the Greek word of the day. Well, I was showing you this color from the eyeshadow palette, and the name is You Can't Fly With Us. That's why I decided to tell you the Greek word for the verb fly. So in Greek we say πετάω. Say it with me. Πετάω. Πετάω. As always, I'm gonna ask you to try to write a comment down below using the word πετάω, or actually tell me the word in your own native language. And finally, we reached number 1. Woo! I'm ready to tell you which is my favorite spooky palette for the Halloween season, and ta-da! A palette which name is literally spooked. This is from Gourmand Girls in collaboration with Doodles by the Bunny, and this palette is pure perfection to me. Pure perfection. From the cover with the spider webs and the spooked word, which is changing colors between kinda like orange and yellow and some rainbow colors in between, to the color scheme. Look at this color scheme, which is screaming Halloween. I mean, look all of the eyeshadows. We're having purple, we're having green, we're having oranges, black, amazing black, super pigmented. And I know how hard it is to find a good black in a palette, but here we're having it, and an amazing white as well. Again, been there, done that. I have tried so many whites, and all of them are okay, but definitely could be better. This is the best I could say. Of course, we are having some amazing duochromes or multichromes in this case. Like, I'm thinking about the pumpkin. You can see it on my face as highlighter today. It's so pretty. And then we're having another personal favorite of mine, the treat one, which is an amazing purple, which is becoming kind of like yellowish, kind of bit blue. It's so fantastic. I love the inspiration that this palette is giving me. I'm using it pretty much at every makeup look that I'm doing. I don't know if you see how well used it is. I almost have hit and pan at the black. It's just perfect. If you want to have one Halloween palette, I think that this is gonna be the one for you. If you have this, I don't think that you need anything more for Halloween. This encapsulates the whole vibe, and this is a perfect palette. Of course, I'm not telling you to buy something that you don't want to buy or anything like this, but if you're in the market, I think this is just perfection. And now tell me, did I include all the good Halloween palettes in this video? Did I forget anything? If yes, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Tell me what I forgot. Tell me how you're ranking your Halloween palettes. Tell me if you're planning to buy any Halloween palettes this year. If you're watched until this point, I love you a little bit more because this video was huge. So don't forget to let me know by leaving me a Halloween emoji. Of course, I will be very happy to see this, and thank you so much for today. Thank you so much for being here and watching my video. Hopefully I'm gonna see you at my next one, and until then, bye bye.